So I've talked about Cedar Point a lot of times before, but something I haven't done yet is ranking the roller coasters of this park. There's a total of 18 roller coasters. I've been on almost all of them. But don't worry, you'll know which ones I haven't been on because I'll say so when we get there. I'll include them on the list and I'll put them where I think they'll go based off what I've heard from other people about the ride. But yeah, we can't really be spending a lot of time talking because this is going to be a really long video. So let's get this moving. Starting off strong with one I've never ridden before. It's Wilderness Run, the kiddie coaster, and I think it's pretty safe to assume that this is going to be last place on pretty much everyone's list. But hey, if I ever do decide to ride it, maybe it'll surprise me. But there's really not much to say about this layout. I mean, look at it. It's literally just a few turns and drops. And I'm not the type of guy to rank a kiddie coaster above other actual thrill coasters. Although I was debating doing it for this list. Also, does anyone else feel like this ride gets way too much credit for being Intamin's first ride? Like, I feel like I could make this in my backyard if I really wanted to. But hey, I guess Intamin had to start somewhere. And I'm glad they did start. Because don't you worry, we'll be seeing a lot of them later on. So, funny thing is, I haven't ridden this ride either. And okay, yes, I swear to God, I've ridden most of the rides on this list. The bottom ones just happen to be the ones I haven't ridden, I guess. And this is basically a kiddie coaster. It's technically a family coaster, I guess, but I would classify it as a kiddie coaster. Also, anyone else find it funny that there's 3 kiddie areas in Cedar Point and the only 2 kid roller coasters are in the same kiddie area? Like, literally right across the path. I don't know, a random thought that occurred to me while I was writing this video. Okay, so this is the first ride on this list that I've actually ridden, but honestly, I wish I just didn't ride it. This ride is genuinely one of the few rides that I actually hate, because look, I only got 1 ride on it, and I plan to keep it that way for a long time, but it was in the very back row. And yeah, I know, rookie mistake, but that was my only ride, so that's the only experience I have on this ride, so therefore, it was garbage. I don't think there's anything about this ride that I enjoyed. It's forceless, and the transitions hurt, and it's rough as freak. Cedar Point, I'm begging you to remove this thing, please. Honestly, I was really debating putting Woodstock Express and Wilderness Run above this thing, but this ride deserves its own separate hate video. I don't know when I'll make it, but it'll come out eventually. Alright, so I already made a video talking about this ride. The only reason I don't really like it is because I found it really rough. And yeah, that could have just been a bad ride, but I was not trying to go on this thing again after what it did to me the first time I rode it. You should go watch that video, by the way. But basically what I said in it was a good layout, but it was kind of rough that just ruined everything. Sorry, Ruru, maybe you'll be able to redeem yourself if I ever decide to ride you again, but I don't know if I can do that to myself. Sorry. I don't really like Cedar Point's B&Ms particularly, and those are basically the only ones I've experienced. The only other one was Hulk at Islands of Adventure, but so far I don't really understand the hype for B&M. I don't know, this isn't really related to this video, but just something I wanted to throw out there, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with this one. I never really understood the hate this ride kind of gets. Like, okay, yeah, it's boring, but it's comfortable, kind of. Like, everyone I've heard calls this ride rough, but I didn't really experience much roughness. Like, yeah, it's got the aero jank. Like, look at some of these bank turns. The transitions are awful. But I honestly think it kind of builds character. And hey, it's just a family coaster. It's never that serious. But you can't even deny the setting here is probably the best at Cedar Point. Okay, maybe not the best, but it's definitely, like, top 3. Actually, can we appreciate how long it takes for this bank to level out? Like, you just stay in the bank while you're doing straight track. It's kind of funny. But I don't know, sections like that seem to give this ride charm, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a little charm. But I feel like I've said a lot about this ride. Let's move on to something more meaningful. Okay, when I said something more meaningful, this wasn't what came to mind, but this'll work. I don't really have many problems with this ride besides the fact that it's kind of short. But hey, a spinning coaster was something that Cedar Point was definitely missing. Was this the best execution for it? Probably not, but we'll talk about it at a different time. And I appreciate Cedar Point for not just going with the basic Wild Mouse clone. Like, they spiced it up a little bit. And on my first ride, I was lucky enough to get the cheese car, so that's a win in my book. But also, I do appreciate the spinning on this ride, especially because you can get some good spinning. For example, in my time I rode it on the brake run, I was spinning like crazy for some reason when the train was stopped. I don't know if that happens to everyone else or just me. Honestly, a little bit dizzying. But like I said, you can't really complain. That's what it's meant to do. Okay, so this is a little bit of a weird one. It's a janky one, but it's probably my favorite family coaster in the park. And that's mostly just because it's, like, pure fun, swinging back and forth. And this is one of the few rides with over-the-shoulder restraints, which I didn't really have a problem with. Does the fact that you're moving, like, 10 miles an hour at fastest have anything to do with it? Yeah, probably. Okay, I was joking. You don't move 10 miles an hour. You move faster than that, but like I said, it was a joke. Anyways, the real star of the show here seems to be the setting, being that it's like a journey through the woods. With Cedar Creek Mine Ride, how we talked about the setting being one of the best of the park, this is probably the other contender, and I probably prefer this one. Which, okay, yeah, I think you get the gist by now. It's better than the last one, but it's worse than the ones ahead of it. That's kind of how these videos work. So I found out that a lot of people seem to hate this ride for some reason, and I don't know why. I kind of enjoyed it, the one ride I had on it. Is it rough? Yeah, it's a wooden coaster, obviously. It's a little bit rough. It's not, like, insanely unbearable or anything. But this ride does have really good airtime, and I wasn't expecting that, but it definitely gave it. Also, just look at this POV. Look at how fast it goes through some of these elements. And I don't know if this was just a me thing, but I thought some of the roughness on the first few hills kind of, like, added to the airtime a little bit, because the cushiony seats kind of bounce you up and down, which also, like Cedar Creek Mine Ride, adds to the charm of the ride. But this is Cedar Point's only true wooden coaster with like all wooden track and supports. It's kind of not the best wooden coaster ever, especially for a park like this. I'm sorry, Cedar Point, this is not how all wooden coasters are. But will we see a modern GCI is the real question. Okay, this is the last ride on this list that I haven't been on because every time I've been to the park, which is 3 times, it's only been running one side, and I'm sorry, I'm not waiting like more than 30 minutes for this ride. It doesn't look that great. Okay, it looks fine. It just doesn't look elite, and I think that's what a lot of people have drawn conclusions from. The slow turns seem to be a letdown, and they break up the pacing a little bit, but it does seem to have some good drops and good airtime in some spots. I'm obviously just judging off the POV and what other people have said about it, so if I'm wrong about anything, let me know. And I don't really think the racing aspect seems to add too much to the experience because, like, the turn coming out of the station is really weird and it, like, sets the trains off. I hope to get on this ride next time I go to Cedar Point because this might be on the chopping block in the coming years, and I can't say if that's a good or bad thing until I've ridden it, so yeah. This is purely just skepticism of where I think it would go. It's not official, obviously. But in all reality, can it really be that bad? It cannot. I don't think it could be worse than Corkscrew or Rougarou. I really think that's all your opinion is going to come down to. Sure, it's an Arrow old mine train thingy. It's going to be a little bit janky and stuff, but it can't ruin the experience that bad, can it? Oh boy, I can already smell all the hate I'm gonna get for putting Raptor this high up. Some people even put this in like their top 5. I don't know, I can't really see the justification for that. It's honestly really intense. Not really the first half, but especially the second half. Is the helix and stuff is crazy. But I'm sorry, this might just be a me thing, but over the shoulder restraints, I just can't deal with them. If you have any tips for me on how to like avoid roughness in these, I would really appreciate it because I'm so sensitive to these for some reason. And this one isn't even a rough ride. It's just the transitions that absolutely like throw your head around and cause all the head banging. I think that's especially prevalent on all the inversions. But this ride does serve a crucial part in Cedar Point's lineup. It's a very intense ride and I'm very happy it has that. And I love the color scheme. Green is my favorite color and that pops in the skyline. And hey, it's a good ride. I recommend it. I'll talk about this ride a little more if I ever decide to do a full review, which I probably will eventually. But not much else to say. I like it. It's just, it didn't live up to all the hype that I heard about it. And expectations can certainly ruin a ride experience. Okay, let me just get this straight. This is a beautiful ride, and every time you ride it, whether it's first thing in the morning, which I don't recommend, or like last thing at night, it just feels like a movie because you're right up against a lake, flipping over the entrance. I don't know, it really just feels like a movie. Is that just me? That was a weird analogy. I don't know where I was going with that. But does anyone else think this ride is like insanely mid? Like, it doesn't do anything especially well, but it's not like bad or anything. And okay, here's what I mean by this. It's kind of forceless besides the valleys because those do give really good positive Gs, but all the inversions don't have any whip or anything. They just kind of are flowy, which don't get me wrong, not everything in this park has to be rip your face off intense, but every element just feels like it's kind of there to look cool rather than actually be an element. And I will stand by this forever. If this ride wasn't the front entrance to the park, literally no one would ever talk about it. And we gotta give a shout out to this pointless helix at the end that we're about to go through. Like, imagine if we had a bunch of near miss elements or like even one more inversion. But it's okay, this is a nice crowd pleaser and it definitely serves a good purpose, obviously being the entrance of the park. And that's all you can really ask for. It's definitely a filler ride, but it's okay. Every park needs those. Okay, I know I have a lot of explaining to do. And can I just start by saying, why was everyone hating on this ride? Seriously, I heard so much bad about this ride. I went in with such low expectations, and it honestly just made me really like it. And obviously, I'm used to these types of rides. My home park has Phantom's Revenge, which I named my channel after, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't really think the airtime was that violent, honestly. I think Phantom's was stronger. And okay, my experience might have been determined because I sat in the second to back row, which apparently is like the best. But even there, the only spot I really didn't like was the turnaround that we're currently going through on the POV right now. In my humble opinion, it did not need to be that long, but that's just me. Like I briefly mentioned before, the meat of this whole ride is it's triangular airtime hills. And with most people, you either love them or you hate them. And honestly, I'm kind of in the middle, which is really weird. I don't know if this was just where I sat, but I really didn't get that much airtime going over these. I obviously got to try the magic seat in row 3 or whatever, but I don't know. I'm doing these rankings based off my experiences, besides the ones I haven't been on, but my experience, they weren't anything special. The tunnels are cool though, I can't lie about that, and I honestly didn't find the roughness an issue. I don't know, I'm pretty weird, but we've been talking for a long time. Let's try to speed this up a little bit. Yeah, so how many people's favorite B&M at Cedar Point is Valravn? There's probably like a whole 4 people on Earth, and I'm one of them. And this is gonna be really weird to say. I'm probably gonna get slaughtered for saying this, but the Vester strains kind of saved this ride. I'm sorry, I'd rather be comfortable than get a little bit of airtime. And the drops are great. They're probably one of the best in the park. Obviously, I wish the mid-course didn't slow it down that much, but it does, and I can't really do anything about that. And people give this ride a hard time for not having forceful inversions, but I feel like Gatekeeper doesn't have any forceful inversions either. So I don't know why no one hates on that ride. This is 100% just a me being weird thing than you guys, so yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking, move on to the next one. So I literally just made a review about this ride, it was literally the video I made right before this one. I'll try to remember to link it in the description. You should go watch it. I talk really in depth about this ride. But some of the major talking points were the ride's focus on speed, which, yeah, I agree, the speed is very crucial part of the ride. And once again, it's one of those cases where people just, their perception on this ride just affected mine. Everyone calling it overrated made me kinda think it was underrated, which I feel like has become my signature thing to say about this ride. But yeah, I'm a Millennium supporter. Go watch that review if you feel like it after you finish this one. It's probably my best video, or one of my best. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Okay, so the debate I had between number 4 and number 3 on this list was legendary. This is probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my entire life. You'll find out what number 3 is in a minute, but first, let's talk about Top Thrill 2. When I rode this ride, it was the tallest in the world, which was really cool to say for 3 months until Falcon's Flight opened. And yeah, this ride is like Millennium Force, focused on speed. You ride this ride for the speed, not the height. I mean, you do ride it for the height, but not the top hat or the spike. Dude, what am I talking about? All these things are what people ride it for. Oh my god. Ignore literally everything I said in the last 15 seconds. But anyways, I really like how this, plaza whole thing feels like a movie. If you want to hear my thoughts on this ride, my full thoughts, go check out the review. I'll try to link it in the description, but the description is gonna be crowded with a lot of videos, so yeah, sorry. But Top Thrill 2, it's a ride that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I really recommend anyone who goes to Cedar Point rides. It's something you can't really skip, I'm gonna be honest. Holy crap, Cedar Point, what a winner you got. It honestly really sucks that you guys got this thing and not a park that could actually use it. But hey, you don't hear me complaining. But if you just sit down and watch a POV of this ride, you're not gonna get the full experience. The real experience comes with the onboard audio, and oh my god, that adds so much. The tilt itself is so unique, and the drop is honestly amazing. No matter where you're sit, it's gonna feel like a drop tower. And the reason I put it over Top Thrill 2 is because just the more complete ride experience. Top Thrill 2, it's such a basic ride experience. I know I say that even though it has 3 launches and it's the fastest coaster in America. But just look at some of these elements. They're crazy and they really add a well-rounded experience. It's definitely not a one-trick pony at all. Siren's Curse really surprised me when I rode it, and that's why I ultimately decided to put it over Top Thrill 2. But you know how I said the decision between Top Thrill 2 and Siren's Curse was hard? Well, that was the hardest decision of my life until I had to choose between number 1 and 2. And I feel like these 2 rides are pretty much in everyone's top 2, so you already know what rides they are. It's Maverick and Steel Vengeance. So now that we know what the possibilities are, it's obviously a huge choice. And my number 2 ride at Cedar Point is... Oh, Maverick, I don't know if words can describe how much I love you. This ride has such good personality, and I can't explain why that is. Actually, I think I do know why. I think it's because it's just so short, and it's so humble. It's such a humble ride when you think about it. Like, it's not trying to do anything fancy or over the top. Huge props to you, Maverick. And this ride is just pure fun, and I cannot think of another ride like it. It's relatively fast, it's whippy, it's low to the ground, everything you could pretty much ask for. It has some of the strongest airtime in the entire park, which is crazy to say. And it honestly has, like, some decent theming throughout the layout. I don't think there's a single complaint I can think of. The only one is that the line's always too long, but that's not the ride's fault. That's just because of how good it is. You know it's a winner when both the general public and enthusiasts can both agree that it's one of the best in the world. In this tunnel, especially the launch, it's so crazy in the front row because you just get blasted by heat. Oh, I love this ride so much. I'll talk about it in another review when I make a video about it. It hurts so bad to not have this ride be first place on this list, but hey, that just means that there's a better ride, which just so happens to be right next to this one. Alright, enough goofing around. We all know what it is. Come out, Steel Vengeance. Alright, yes, I'm a very boring enthusiast whose number one is Steel Vengeance, but if you've been on this, you know you can't really blame me. It's so good. Words cannot do it justice to what it does to your body. The airtime, the forces, the inversions, you just have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. It's a relentless ride, and it's so long, it goes on forever. The literal only issue I have with this ride is that the queue line's boring. And yeah, any ride could use some good theming, but this ride doesn't really need it, I'm gonna be completely honest. No matter how long that wait time is, I promise you this ride is gonna be worth it. This is coaster design at its finest right here. We are witnessing one of the best rides literally ever built. It's a feat of engineering. People that have traveled the world for coasters have still put this at their number one. That's just how good it is. The way the train just throws itself off every hill, the airtime hills, everything, it's so freaking perfect. Oh boy, don't even get me started on the part where you're rolling through all the supports. So disorienting, and you have no idea which way you're going to be going next, especially if you're in like the back row and you cannot see anything except the train in front of you. I do not think Cedar Point, the roller coaster capital of the world, could ask for a better number one ride in the park than Steel Vengeance. Well, if you're still here, I warned you that it would be a long video, but thank you for watching to the end, I guess. Since you made it this far, why not leave a comment or a like or subscribe even? If you were intrigued enough to watch to the end of this video, maybe you will want to watch some of my others. But this video did take a lot of time and effort to make, so I would really appreciate your support. I don't know, only if you wanna. You might hate me, and that's fine too, I guess. Just be nice to me in the comments. And remember, everything I said in this video is purely my opinion, so don't go getting offended and acting like I said facts. Because trust me, I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with some of the things I said, and that's okay. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinions about roller coasters. That's what makes them kind of fun to talk about. But I've already said enough this video. I'm gonna let this one close out. I hope to see you all next time.